Good evening, believers. How are you doing today? This is Love Coach Dasha coming to you today for the Healing Hour Live. Now, if you've never been with me, you don't know what it is that I'm doing here. I am a love coach for women who want to stay and reconcile after infidelity. That's a hard thing to do. It is a difficult thing to do, and people will tell you that it can't be done, but I am here to tell you that absolutely it can be done. You can get to a better place. You can get to the place where you feel like you can trust again, that you feel like you can let down the walls and you can be with your honey again. You can get to that place. It just takes a little work. Okay. It just takes a little practice, takes a little bit of time, but you can do it. Your relationship can be better. It can be stronger than ever before. And I know that because it's happened to me. I was cheated on. My husband cheated on me for about 4 good years in the very beginning of our relationship. But we have been together for 20, almost 22 years now. And that has been the best relationship I've ever had in my life. So I want you to know that there is life beyond the cheating. There is life beyond this. You can get to a better place. Quisha, I see you over there on Instagram. Hey, girl. All righty. So I want you to know you can do this. And so I try and do everything that I possibly can for you to be able to do this. So I want you to know about 2 things that I have for you right now. Number 1 is my guide, How to Heal and Reconcile After Infidelity. All you need to do is put into the comments, hey girl, over here on Instagram, just put path, or if you want to find it in the Love After Cheating group, it's right up in the very top. Top picture and top pin post, you can find the link to go to my guide, How to Heal and Reconcile After Infidelity. You need this guide. You need this guide. If you have been going through this, you want to work this out, you need a guide to help you along the path, to figure out where the path even is at this point. I got you. Okay. I have figured out the things that everybody told me over and over and over again that just did not work. And I told you the flip side of it, the things you can do instead of the things that they're telling you that don't work, that will get you to a better place. All right. So, got that for you. And then the second thing I definitely want you to join up with me for is the Tricky Triggers Challenge. This is the second annual. It's the only second time that we'll be doing this, but I'm trying to tell you we've got lots and lots of information about getting over the triggers in the challenge. You do not have to suffer with the triggers forever. That is unnecessary. You don't have to do that. I know that the triggers are bad right now. They're messing with you. They're messing with your relationship. They're messing with your healing and your reconciling. I get it. I know that's what happened, but I got the keys. I got the keys to overcoming the triggers, understanding them, coming to terms with them. I got you. So I need you to go ahead and sign up for the Tricky Triggers Challenge. It's in my link tree on Instagram. It is in the group over here on Love After Cheating. Okay. You got to get in it. You got to get into the challenge. I'm going to tell you too much good information for you to just pass up on this. Okay. All right. So that's the stuff that I have to offer you. Now, we're going to talk a little bit about how to recover from this trauma, because that's what this is. Every time I talk to you, I want you to know that you have suffered a trauma. That is what happened. Okay. Don't try and diminish it. Don't try and make it seem like it's anything less than that. It is a trauma, and you have to treat it like trauma in order to be able to heal it. There's very simple things that you need to do when you are wounded that will help you emotionally get to a more stable place. Okay. So the first thing we got to do is do our deep breathing. Have you been doing your deep breathing? I need you to do your deep breathing. I need you to do that. LaQuisha, you haven't been doing your deep breathing, have you? Do your deep breathing with me right now. And who's this over here on Facebook? Let me know. Give me some likes and love. Let me know that you're here. But whoever that is over there on Facebook that I can't see at the moment, have you been doing your deep breathing too? All right. I need you all to work on your deep breathing. We need to do this 5 times a day. This needs to be a consistent thing you are working on. You need to get control over your body and your brain again. That is what we're doing when we're doing our deep breathing. We're getting back in the pilot seat. your brain has some automatic features, which are features. They're not bugs, but they're kind of a pain in the ass if you are trying to reconcile. If you're trying to work things out, that's not what they're designed to do. They are very survivalist type of reactions that you have that are all about you and you alone. They're not worried about you being with anybody. They don't care about that. Those responses don't care at all about your love life. Okay. If you want your love life to survive this, you have to take back control beyond these automatic responses that are happening in your body. All right. Very, very simple thing. And the first thing that you can do to do that is do your deep breathing. It sends a signal to your brain that you are not in any danger. When you are anxious, when you're in fight or flight, your breath comes much shorter, much more shallow. Okay, we can't have that. That is not good for you. That is survival mode breathing. We need to take back over control and have full deep breaths where we are fully inhaling the oxygen and we are fully releasing the carbon dioxide that has built up in our lungs. If we do not do that, your body will tell you that something is wrong. Your body will be alarming in your brain, telling you that something is wrong because your carbon dioxide level is all out of whack. All right. So simple thing to get back in control of your body after a trauma is to do your deep breathing. So we're going to do 4-7-8 breathing. I do 4-7-8 because that's a good pattern for me. It's just weird enough that I'll remember it. All right. But it doesn't matter what pattern you do. You can do 5-5-5. You can do 4-8-9. I don't care. I don't care what you do. Whatever pattern you choose, just do it and stick with it 5 times a day. Okay. But if you want me to walk you through it, I got a YouTube video. YouTube videos says start here and breathe on my Love Coach Dasha channel. So just go on over there and grab you a seat and I will walk you through it 5 times over there. Okay. But in the meantime, since you're here with me, come on in here and do your deep breathing with me. All right. First thing we're going to do is blow out. And we're blowing out trying to make the noise of blowing. You want that to be a signal. You want that to be a signal to your brain that, hey, I'm in control here. I'm calming down. We are not in any danger. Cut that out. Okay. That's what you're doing when you're making that sound. You are telling your brain what is happening. All right. So it's a trigger, a good trigger. We can create good ones just like we can have bad ones. All right. Then you're going to inhale for a count of 4. Usually I say through your nose. If you got allergies and they're bad, you feel free to breathe through your mouth if you want to, but just know that I will say that. Inhale for a count of 4. Going to hold that breath for a count of 7 so your body can actually use some of that oxygen that it just breathed in. And then we're going to blow out for a count of 8, blowing out all that excess carbon dioxide in our lungs. All right. I'm going to do this about 3 times together just for the sake of time on live. All right. So first things first, blow out. Inhale through your nose. 2, 3, 4. Hold it. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Blow out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Again, inhale. 2, 3, 4. Hold it. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Blow out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Last time. Inhale. 2, 3, 4. Hold it. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Blow out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Beautiful. How does it feel when you do your deep breathing? Let me know. Over here on Facebook, let me know, how does it feel when you do the deep breathing? And does it help? Have you been doing it? Have you been working on it? Does it help you on a regular basis? It is one of those things that helps me. And I do it on my own. I have taught it to my children, both of my children that I raised since they were babies. I taught them this since they were toddlers, to be able to do deep breathing, to calm themselves, to rest. Oh, hey, the camera went out of Instagram. Hey, look at that. Okay. So I've been teaching them to do this since they were little kids, and they handle stress very well. And if my husband ever sees me starting to stress and I'm not doing my deep breathing, it will not go back to Instagram. Okay. If my husband sees me doing that and I am stressing out and I am not doing my deep breathing, he will tell me to do my deep breathing. He will remind me. He will walk me through a couple of steps to get me to a better place to be able to handle whatever it is that I'm stressing over. Okay. So you got to do this on a regular basis. It's going to help you do this regularly. Do not think that it's going to be easy to just calm yourself back down with the deep breathing if you don't do it on a regular basis. If you're not doing it consistently, then you're not getting the full benefits of it. You're not constantly pulling that anxiety level back down to a manageable level. All right, let's try this again over here on Instagram. All right. I switch phones altogether and everything. Hey, you want to be difficult? Okay, keep saying live. All right, it says I'm live. All right, so I'm back over here on Instagram. I don't know what happened. It would not go back to the app at all on my other phone. All right. Anyway, all right, so we're doing our deep breathing. We got that part. Second thing that I'm always going to tell you every time we get together, I need you to be doing your journaling. Have you been doing your journaling? Have you been sitting down? I'm trying to tell you, when you sit down with your journal, you will come up with some insights. You will have stuff that lingers in your brain throughout the day for you to think on and gnaw on. And then at night, if something has been bothering you all day, you can write it down in your journal. Come morning, most of the time, it's solved. You figured it out inside your head if you just journal, okay? I want you to sit down with your journal, 5 minutes in the morning, 5 minutes in the evening. Commit to that little bit. You will be able to say stuff that's happening in the morning time, stuff that's happening in the evening time. You will have the day pretty much covered, even if you can't go back to your journal when something is actually happening in the moment. Now, I'm saying if you can, do it. But if you can't, at least you will have journaled in the morning and then you'll journal in the evening so you can cover what happened during the day. If when you're doing this, you need to do the 5 minutes in the morning and the evening. You need to do your date and your time, and you need to do your level of anxiety. Date and the time so you can go back and see when things happen that might be part of the trigger. You don't know that it's part of the trigger until you actually written it down and can see it on paper. Issues with your brain, mental illness, depression, this much stress and this much trauma affect how you see things. And so you'll be walking around with the answer and you won't know it because you didn't write it down. Okay. So let's not be walking around here blinded. All right. Let's be able to open up our journals and go back and look at dates and times and be like, oh, hey, there's a connection there. I wrote it down. I know that now. All right. I want this to be as easy as possible for you. This makes it easier. And the last thing is your level of anxiety. Level of anxiety 0 to 10. 0 is no anxiety at all. Write that down. All right. Do not let the day pass without acknowledging that you don't have any anxiety. You need to write that down just as much as you need to write down if you were a 10. Now, a 10 is a complete loss of control over yourself. You can't help yourself. You are in, I want to rip my hair out, tear my clothes off, run screaming down the street naked territory. Okay. You don't have control over yourself. You're probably screaming. You're probably throwing something. If you were at a 10, you're probably not sitting down calmly writing in your journal. You need to know how bad it was. You need to know what makes it good and what makes it worse. And if you are consistently writing these things down, it will be in your journal. You won't have to guess. Okay. We can make it a lot simpler. It will be in your journal, waiting for you to discover it because you wrote it down. So please don't assume that your memory is going to be wonderful under trauma. Our memories are terrible. So that is not even a thing. Make sure that you're writing stuff down in your journal. All right. Twice a day. Third thing that I'm always going to tell you every time we get together is I want you to have an attitude of gratitude. Can you work with that with me? Can you do that for me? I need you to do this. Okay. I need you to be on this. I need you to have that attitude together. I need you to be constantly looking for the good. When you've been traumatized, it is a normal reaction. Your brain will look for the worst in everything. without pause. It will be relentless, and you will feel more and more depressed because all you'll be seeing is negative things. This is a trauma response. It is a thing that your brain does on autopilot to try and keep you out of any further trouble. However, seeing the negative all the time makes you a very negative person to be around. It's not good for you if you're trying to be in a relationship. So we've got to cut that off. We've got to shut that voice up in our head. And the simplest, easiest way to do that is by practicing gratitude. Get that attitude, gratitude together. That's why I always have Thirsty Thursdays. I want you to tell me the good things that are happening with your life, with your relationship, because the things that you are grateful for, your brain cannot tell you that they are not really good things to be grateful for. Your brain will tell you anything else. The person that loves you, no, he doesn't really love you, and you're not even really worthy of love anyway. Tell you all types of horrible, terrible things in your head. But if you're grateful, most of the time that little voice in your head can't argue with being grateful for something. Like right now, I am truly and well grateful that I got my little fan in the studio because it's hot in here. All right. This side of my house bakes all day. Like it's brick. It bakes under the sun. The sun is in both windows all day long. So it's the hottest room in the house. And the light is on. But guess what? I got an itty bitty fan and I'm grateful for it. I'm grateful for the blowing. I'm grateful that it's not terribly loud. I'm grateful that it will keep me cool and keep me from sweating in here under this light. It's a beautiful thing. I can be grateful for that. My brain can't argue with me about that. It is a good thing. It is a thing that I can be grateful for, that I know is a good thing for me. And so your brain won't be able to argue with stuff like that. And so it's a lot easier to climb out of that negativity hole if you can find the handholds of gratitude to help you climb. That's basically what it is. That makes sense? You all let me know if I'm not making any sense to you. I know I say things that other people do not say, but they haven't tried it. They haven't actually gone through it. Most people will tell you what the other person in this situation can do, what your wayward spouse can do. That is not my thing. That is not what I'm here to tell you. That is a complete waste of time. Everything that everybody told me that he should be doing did not give me anything. It didn't help me. It didn't have me get to a better place. It did not make me feel better. It just made me keep on checking off all these things. Well, he's not doing this. Well, he's not doing this. And then I can't look at my own behavior because I'm constantly looking at his behavior and my behavior isn't getting any better. I'm not shaking off the trauma at all if I'm constantly looking at him. All right. Looking good, 156. I see you over there on Instagram. Hey. So I want you to know from the insider's view of somebody who has done this, who has indeed made the decision to stay and reconcile after infidelity, who has seen that it works and seen that it has become a much better, much more happy, much more productive relationship. I am here from the other side. I'm here from the future, girl. I'm here. I'm here to let you know that you can get there. There is a way out of the woods. I'm here to show you. Okay. Do not stay stuck in the woods any longer. All right. Hopefully, some of you are grateful for that. Hopefully, you are grateful for somebody standing by the path, waving you over to the path out of the woods. Hopefully, you're grateful for that. Hopefully, you will sign up to do the Tricky Chiggers Challenge with me so I can help you get out of the woods a little bit further. Okay. All right. Last thing that I'm always going to talk to you about every time we get together, which is a critical one, and this is one of the main things that's going to help you keep your sanity after this infidelity. Please, please, for the love of all that is good and holy, stop asking all those questions. Okay. Everybody will tell you that you are perfectly justified in asking every question that you want to ask. Yes, you are. Everybody will tell you that you're going to feel better after you ask all the questions. No, you're not. It is not a real thing. They tell you that that will happen because they haven't gotten the satisfaction that they wanted. They went through the same trauma and they feel like they didn't get all the answers that they want. So they want you to get all the answers. And hopefully, if you tell them, they will feel like they got all their answers. But that's not even how closure works. Okay. You're not going to get any answers from him that are going to help you. Not one single answer is going to provide you with any hope or any healing. It is not. I promise you, because I've asked. Okay. I am a Gemini, bless my heart. And I am one of those women who wanted to know. And I asked all the damn questions. And my husband is a very blunt person. And he's like, if you want to know, I will tell you. And he did. And none of it helped. Not a bit. Not every single solitary question that my brain said, if you ask this, if you get the correct answer to this, that's always the trick, because your brain never thinks it's the correct answer. But if you get the correct answer to this, then we'll heal. Then it'll all be better. You'll be willing to be in love with him again if you just get this answer. And I'm here to tell you that your brain is lying. It is lying to you. Stop listening to it, okay? You are the thinker. You are not the thoughts, all right? And your brain will try and convince you of all sorts of manner of bullshit to try to keep you separated from him. It is not trying to heal you. It's not trying to do that. It is trying to keep you away from the situation. It is trying to make sure that you don't reconnect with this person who hurt you. That is what it is doing. I promise you, it's not trying to help you. And not trying to help you recover and reconcile. It is trying to help you never be with this person again, to be isolated, to shut down, to put the walls up so you never have good love again. That's what it's doing. All right. And that's fine that our brains are so sweet to us that they will try and protect us from harm. However, there is harm involved if you can't be with the person you love. If you are stuck in a place where you can't even let it go and find any forgiveness for this person that you love so much, then what is the point? What is the point? You're just going to sit there with them forever and be unforgiving and be angry? No, it's not good for you. So the first step along that path is not asking all those questions. All those questions do not give you what you need. That's not even how closure works. You will not find out anything that will heal you from the questions. And when your brain is itching to ask questions, I want you to take another step further and not ask any. I want you to be very wary of the things that come out of your mouth and try and make sure that you don't say anything that ends in a question mark for a couple weeks. Give yourself a couple of weeks, because you will start to change the way your brain is working on this trauma. It wants to ask questions to try and have ammunition against this person in the future. If you don't ask the questions, it's not completing that loop in your brain. All right. You are fighting back against the trauma being formed as it's forming. I don't want you to have to deal with extra trauma because you asked questions and kept on going with this loop. You will not have the damage in the first place if you can stop yourself from asking all those questions at all. It changes the way your brain is working. Okay. So, all that being said, I did say that your brain will itch to ask a question. Instead of all the questions that you want to ask, which are sucky questions, I'm going to tell you right now, all your questions suck, okay? Instead of those, try these. A lot better. This is the Healing Edition deck, THEAND. It's 199 questions. This is the Healing Edition questions, but there are questions. Matter of fact, I'm going to get out one from the long-term healing. I got that right here on the disc. This one is the couples, long-term couples edition. So these are like $30 on Amazon. Very cheap, but very affordable, and an excellent thing to do instead of asking the questions that are going on in your brain. The questions that are going on in your brain are not helpful. They are not going to give you anything positive at all. But these are designed for couples. They're designed to be used lovingly. So it'll be a little bit easier. But I'll give you a couple of these. This isn't the healing edition. This is long-term couples, but what's the wisest thing you've learned from me? Ooh, my husband tells me all the time, and I love it. I know little factoids all the time. And he said, it's like him living on Jeopardy. He's like, I know all this stuff now only because you told me. All right. Ah, so what is the wisest thing you've learned from me? The next one will be, what do I do that inspires you? Isn't that a better question than what positioning you had sex with her in? Isn't that a better question? Wouldn't you rather know what you do that inspires him instead of knowing that? I would, me personally. I'll tell you what I would want. And one more. How do we grow through conflict? Isn't that a good question? Now, see, you can talk about the conflict a little bit, but let's talk about growth more than we're talking about the conflict. How do we grow through conflict? Great questions. Wonderful questions. Better than the questions that you want to ask. So please, please, again, for the love of all that is good and holy, stop asking all these questions about the affair. You don't need to know. They're not going to give you anything to heal. They're just going to be lingering in your brain, making you mad for months to come once you get the answers. All right. Oh, let's see. I didn't even ask if anybody's got anything they're grateful for this week. I don't see anything on Thirsty Thursday, but I am here to listen, and I would love to hear something good that you are grateful for this week. I see you over here on Facebook. Come on, give me some good news this week. Tell me about it. All right. So I am here to tell you the things to get past this. All right. And I know that there's still there's a proportion of the group that is still in the do I decide to do this camp. Is this really something I can get past? Is this somebody that is worth it? And I'm here to tell you that chances are, if you're thinking about it, you feel like they're worth it. Most people, if they're not worth it, the decision is made pretty quickly. You pretty much know from the very first moment you find out, and it's almost a peaceful type of situation because you're very sure about it. If you're not sure, if you got some hesitation on leaving your relationship because of cheating, then you are considering a path of unconditional love. And that's some difficult shit to do, okay? You are not picking something that's easy. You're not. But you're picking something that's very worth it. You're talking about getting your happily ever after. You're talking about playing out your fairy tale, even though right now we are cursed and things are not going well. And this is the part of the book where we just don't know if we're going to be together and if evil is going to win over love. And we're in this, and you are in a page turner, honey. You are right now writing a story that will leave other women breathless for years to come. And if you have somebody who inspires you to do that, to consider, to even press forward after such pain and such trauma, I think you got to appreciate that. I think you got to look at that as a gift and see if you're willing to throw it away. See if you're willing to just say, okay, well, yeah, I love him deeply, madly, truly. I think that this is really my fairy tale, but I don't want my happy ending. Like that's hard to do. Like I couldn't do it. That was where it was for me. He was my fantasy. He is my king. He is the one. I don't think I'd have tolerated anybody else cheating. I don't think that would have been a thing, or I'd have probably been cheating right alongside him. Just terrible relationship. Just awful. I think that might have been what would have happened if I had been with anybody else. But he is the person who inspires me. He makes me want to be better. He makes me want to see better. He just does it for me. Okay. And if you found the person like that, if you found the person that you love so much that you are willing to forgive them for something this big, I am here to tell you, I think you should go for it. I am saying that if you have something that real, that true, that big, then you are on track for your fairy tale. And I want you to have it. Okay. I want you to get to happily ever after. And I want you to be able to turn around and be like, here, girl, read this book. Read this. This was excellent. This was my story. Let me tell you about it. All right. I am waiting for that. I love to have women come back to me later on and be like, hey, my happy ending. I'm getting my happy ending. I am there. It is flowing. It's better than it was before. I can't believe this is actually working out. I love to hear that. I want you to have your happy ending. If this is your person, if he's your lobster, go ahead and make the decision. Stop being on the fence. I said it one time before, you're going to get splinters on your butt sitting on the fence. You need to make up your mind. If it's real and it's real for you, even though you're hurting, it's still real for you. Go ahead and treat it like it's real and start the healing path. Okay. Just go ahead and go for it. Throw caution to the wind and go for it. You can always change your mind later. You can always do that. If you come to find out that he actually wasn't the one, he is not the star of the show, he is not the king to your queen. I get that. I get it. But I don't think you're wrong about him now. I think if you are choosing, if you are even slightly wobbling towards, maybe I should forgive him, I would love to be with him for my life, I don't think that you're wrong. I don't think that you are wrong. I believe you. I believe that part of you inside that is screaming, no, we've got to stay. I believe you. Okay. And if you believe that part of yourself, you want to work with me, you need to message me, girl. We need to talk about it. We need to get you fully on the healing path so you can get there faster. I know that this takes forever. It is long, it is arduous, it is a very long path to walk. But the sooner you get on it, the sooner you're going to get out of the woods, back to your castle, back with your fairy tale. Okay. You got to break the curse. You got to start moving to break the curse. Okay. And I am here to help you move. I am here to help you do that. But you got to decide to make that move. You've got to choose it and don't give yourself a hard time about it. Don't sit there and second guess yourself. I don't know. Is he really the one? If it has been in your brain to try to fix it because you just love him like that, then yeah, he's the one. Go ahead and go for it. He's the one to try this for. Okay. My husband was the one for me. He was just the one. Like I said, I don't think I'd have bothered with anybody else who cheated, but this was my person. I was like, oh, you're not ruining this story for me. You are not ruining my love story. Damn it. We're going to be all right. And that's exactly what it was. And it was a matter of, that's the other thing that will help you make the decision. I didn't want to be a damn statistic. I didn't want it to be like, oh yeah, the love of your life failed because every man's a cheater. Like I didn't want that story to be my story. I wanted the story to be that we overcame, that we made it through everything. And damned if that didn't happen. Okay. But you've got to picture what you want your story to be and then start heading in that direction if you want it to come true. And that's what I did. And it is coming true every day for me. Every day. All right. So that's about a little bit about making a decision. That's about the D of my dreams formula, which you can get how to heal and reconcile after infidelity. It shows you my dreams formula, walks you through all 6 steps of healing and reconciling and bringing this back together and knitting back into something good and wholesome and beautiful and pure again and getting to your happy ending. I got that in the guide. Okay. That is the first step, is the D. The next thing is the R, which is recognizing and overcoming the fear speech, the stuff that makes you afraid, the stuff inside your head that you're saying to yourself because of the trauma, the little trauma monster in your head saying all that. And because of the things that other people say to you. So many people told me that I'm just being a doormat and you're so weak for wanting to be with this man anyway. And I'm like, why does all that have to be my character just because I'm choosing to stay and love somebody that I love? Like all of that has to be my character now because he did something wrong and I'm choosing to forgive him because of that. I'm wrong. I'm the bad guy. Oh hell no. I wasn't accepting that. I didn't want that to be my story at all. I wanted to be the story that yes, we he has done bad things. Even if I do bad things, we still will overcome together. That was the story that I wanted to tell. So, that fear will come from inside you and outside with other people. You got to recognize it when it comes across you. It sounds like logic. It sounds like it, but it'll make you feel bad. Okay? Because it's not what you want to do. You don't want to leave. You don't want to be afraid. You don't want to act like that. You want to be loving and true and honest with the person that you love. That's what you want. You want to be open, you want to be vulnerable, you want all of that stuff. You don't want to be afraid of them. And they don't want you to act like you're afraid of them either. You wouldn't want to be in a relationship with somebody who treated you like they were afraid of you, right? That's absolutely ridiculous. Nobody wants that. So you've got to be paying attention to that fear and not letting that fear run your life. E is for evaluating the why. Why did this happen? Because sometimes they're sick, sad, or stupid, or all three. All right. Those are the categories I came across. I was writing today and I came across a piece of paper with like all of these reasons why men could cheat, and like boredom and grief and addiction. And I had written them all down. And that's where I written all the reasons down. And then they kind of fell into those three categories. So sick is some kind of illness. Some kind of illness. You would be surprised. I was a nurse for 20 years. You would be surprised how often men come in for cardiac emergencies cheating. It's a strange thing. If their heart's already failing, I think they're more likely to cheat. It is the weirdest thing. A mistress will come in on a regular basis on a heart floor. It's an odd thing that happens, but I think because they can tell like their hormones are changing, I think that there's something in their bodies that tries to like affirm life. And there's nothing more life affirming than sex that creates life. So then they want to go run and have sex, and then they end up having a heart attack on top of this poor woman, which is probably no less than she deserves. But mistress brings in, and wife finds out. All right. People who are ill are not making the best decisions for their life. It just is what it is. We are all subject to it. We are all very prone that if we are ill, we are not going to do the right thing. So it could be all sorts of things. It could be mental illness. It could be physical illness. It could be addiction, all sorts of reasons. But illness, something is going on inside of your body. All right. Because none of us are at our best when we're sick. Then there is sad. Sad is a loss of some kind of loss. I feel like I've lost my manhood. I feel like I've lost my place as a provider because I lost my job. I have lost who I thought I was going to be as an adult man. All sorts of things. It could be feeling like he's lost you, feeling like he's lost his children. All sorts of things could be a loss. It doesn't necessarily have to be a death, but it absolutely can be a death. That is a part of when people have been together for like 20 years and all of a sudden he cheats, but it was because like his dad just died or like mom or dad just died. It's a stage of life where again affirming life instead of death. And I think I think that's all it is, that life affirming makes them feel a little bit better, makes them feel a little safer. I think that's all it comes down to. So it could be any kind of loss, but we grieve when we lose things. It does not matter if it's a thing or a person, we still have grief attached to things that we've lost. At this moment, like I can tell you right now, I still have grief over I met Method Man when I was like 20. All right. And I have been in love with him since I was 14. All right. Major crush. I met him right after I first fell in love with my husband. So my husband was like, yeah, go have fun. Hope you get a picture with him, blah, blah, blah. I met him. He was super sweet to me, super nice, complimented my hair, stood there with his arm around my shoulder, smoking a blunt, talking to people, taking pictures. Awesome celebrity moment. My friend had taken pictures. I could not move. I was so smitten. I could not move, even when she's like trying to get me to take pictures of her. Like I backed away for like 2 seconds and snapped a couple of pictures of her and gave the camera back. But I grieve now because those pictures were lost in a house fire. Okay. Still to this day, that my daughter was 2 at the time and she's like 19 now, I still grieve. Okay. Grief is weird. It's funny. You lose something or someone, and there is a loss attached, and we all feel grief no matter what if we have lost something. So if he's in the process of, or he has lost something, you know what it is and you know that he lost it, expect that grief. All right. And then stupid. Oh, stupid isn't even what you think it is. Stupid is not about stupid things that men do or men being stupid. It's not that. It is about the stupid things we're taught. The stupid things that men and women are taught about being in relationships, about the value of body count and virginity and all sorts of craziness that we've been taught. We get taught one thing and they get taught something completely different. All right. It's insanity. It could be what he has seen from friends and family. If he's seen older male role models and they were cheating, he thinks that's normal. He thinks that that is what grown men in his circle do. That is what he will think. And that's stupid. But if you impress upon a kid that that's what happens, they'll believe you. So all sorts of stupid things. Dad cheated on mom, mom cheated on dad. All sorts of stupid could come up to the surface, but it's just a lot about the ways that we're taught to be with one another. It's a little sad, but you know better than anybody else. It's sick, sad, stupid. You know what his issues are. So you could probably categorize it right now. If it's all three, you probably know it's all three. If it's only one, you're probably like, oh yeah, it's only really that one. You probably know better than him, better than me, what it was that made him do this. So that's the why, evaluating the why, figuring that out. Allowing the healing to happen. You gotta let down the wall, honey. You gotta let it down. You cannot live loving somebody behind a wall. Every bit of love. Hey, love and safe, Chris. That's my bestie over there. I see you on Instagram, girl. Every single bit of, oh shoot, so I'm a bestie and totally forgot what I was saying. The wall. Every bit of love that you're going to try and give out is going to bounce off onto the ground because it's hitting a wall. Okay. You can't have a wall up to the person that you love and be able to give them love, and you can't receive love through a wall either. You're going to have to let it down. You're going to have to let them in. You're going to have to let them be close to you. That's what you're going to have to do. And it's scary. Yes, it is. It's scary to put your ring back on. It's scary to have sex again. It's scary to do normal things, go on vacation. It's scary to let it go. It's scary. Yeah, it is. Absolutely. Totally agree with that. However, it is worth it. If you are in a place where you're struggling, let down the wall, open up your arms, hug more, kiss more, have sex more, eat together, sleep together, go out together, have adventures together, do stuff together, act like a loving couple, and you'll get back to loving couple things. But you've got to be aware of it, that you are keeping that wall up, and choose to let it down. Okay. Then there is M, which is managing the future feelings, the triggers. And we are talking all about that on the Tricky Triggers Challenge, but I'll give you a little bit about triggers. The main thing about triggers is they are sensory. It's things that you see, hear, smell, taste, touch that remind you of a trauma. Your senses are there to give you information. And the information that it gave you reminds your brain of something that happened around the trauma. That's all a trigger is, okay? Triggers exist to show you where you're not healed yet. It is not a call to go and scream at him. It is not to say, look, this place is still wounded. You haven't fixed it. It's not that. Okay, it's just to show you where there's still pain, where there's still a little infection, so that you can be working on that part. Okay, nobody else can fix it but you. Nobody else can work on it inside you but you. Okay, so when we're having our triggers, we've just got to remember to be mindful. Got to get ourselves together, do our deep breathing, do some journaling, get our thoughts together, figure out what this trigger is, what is the key thought that is messing with us because of this trigger. Like what thought does it make come to mind? um that's what we need. That's what we need when we're having these triggers. You go into him and yelling at him, it's not going to do a thing. It's not going to heal you up. It's not going to make you feel better. It's not going to give you closure. So if it would, I'd say do it, but since it doesn't and it affects your relationship negatively, I say don't do it. Okay, then there is the S, seeking support. Girly, you cannot get some support that will not help you with all the rest of the formula. If your support is constantly telling you, well, he has to make a decision, it's not even up to you. That's bullshit. No, it's not. It's most assuredly up to me. It's only up to me. He has forfeited the right to say what is going to happen. I am the one who gets to say that now. All right. I make the decision. Telling you that you should be afraid and you should keep away from him. He's just gonna hurt you. That is not the type of support you need. You need somebody to be like, hey, look, fight the trauma monster with you. The trauma monster is lying to you right now. It's telling you lies about him and about you. I'm here to tell you the truth. That is the support you need. You need somebody who'll go through each one of the steps and not say what the other people out in the world will say, not saying what all the groups and stuff will say. You need somebody who will stick you to the path and help you along the path. That's why I do this, so that you have someone who will help you along the path, who knows what the path is, who will not let you get lost in the woods. I will not let you get lost. If you work with me, if you decide that I am the support that you need, I am not going to let you get lost in the woods. I am going to direct you to your happy ending. I'm full fairy godmother mode over here, okay? I am fully here for that for you. I want to be like, here, look here. Here's the path. Come on. And help you get right out of the woods instead of making it worse every single solitary time you talk to me. If you got people and you feel terrible every time you talk to them about this situation, that's the wrong support. That's not your people. That is not the people that'll help you with this. You will not get to a good place listening to them, because their fears, chances are in vain. They are telling you things out of fear, their own fears, instead of telling you things that will be productive towards the relationship. And once they do that, once you listen to that, you're going to have trouble. You're going to have problems. So instead of relying on people who don't necessarily know what they're talking about, I am fully here for you, girl. I am fully here for you. I believe in your decision. I believe that this is the right person. This is the person that is your person. He is caught up in this curse with you. All right. You want both of you to be uncursed and get back home to the castle and you're happily ever after. I fully want to do that with you. I believe you. I believe in your story. I know the path down the healing path. Okay. I know the steps to take, and I want you to get back where you should be, and out of pain. Out of pain. I feel like you've been hurting long enough. I think you've been hurting quite some time now. I feel like that's enough. That's plenty. That's plenty. We can go ahead, turn the pain down a little bit and get you back healing, feeling good, loving on each other, feeling like things will work out and more hopeful than you have. Okay? Woo! All righty. You got any questions, comments, thoughts, complaints? I don't see anything. Nobody's giving me comments. I tell you, somebody asked earlier, Jada asked, can we talk about when someone you never dated feels cheated on? I gotta talk to you about that, Jada, because I'm a little concerned. I said, well, why do they feel like you were cheating on them if you weren't together? I'm concerned about that. I was listening to a Reddit story about the dude that was totally gaslighting the girl he had been friends with for a year into believing that they had been dating for a year, and suddenly, just acted like they were together and had somebody call and say, "Oh yeah, are you there with your girlfriend? Okay, well, I'll talk to you a little bit later. I'll talk to you in private." Like doing major gaslighting to make her believe, and telling their friends that they were together to make them believe that they had been dating for a year. So that's concerning to me. If you're dating somebody or you are around somebody who thinks that they are dating you and feels like if you're with somebody else and that's cheating, that's a little borderline scary. Okay, we may need to involve some authorities if that continues. If you and if you try to convince them that you didn't cheat on them, that because you've never dated them, that is a crazy conversation to have. If you are in the midst of that, you need to take yourself out of that situation. You need to extricate yourself from that quick, like, because if they feel like they got cheated on, but you feel like we were never together, one of you is not in reality. One of you is not in the same reality as the other. Okay. And if you've never been with them, you don't have a clue what they're talking about, they're a friend and that's it. And they're sitting here being like, well, you cheated on me because you were with such and such, and it has nothing to do with them, really. You might want to back up off this person. You and make a plan to, not just abruptly, and don't tell them, but start separating out so that maybe they can't find you. Because I feel a little concerned about that for somebody who's telling you that, oh, we dated and you cheated on me, but no, you didn't date. That's a little crazy. That's a little crazy. Most people know who they're in a relationship with. If this person does not know who they were in a relationship with, they think it was you and it wasn't you, that's concerning. All right. They may need a little therapy. They may go ahead and talk to a psychiatrist, get on some medication, start to really get back in contact with reality. Because you're saying, no, we are not together. I didn't cheat on them because I'm not their girl. I'm with you. I think that you would know if you were dating somebody. So if you feel like we were not dating, that is not what was happening with this situation, and they're trying to act like I cheated on them, you need to make sure that you're only around them with other people, that you see them in a public space, and then you let them know in a public space, look, this is not going to work out. I'm sorry that you feel like see, that's what I'm saying. I don't even want to say that because don't going down that route doesn't sound like a good thing too. This relationship is not going to work out. That's all you need to say. You don't even need to go all in depth about it because they're probably a kind of a crazy person. So I would just say this relationship is not working out. I appreciate it if you would respect my boundaries and not call me. And with somebody else in a public space, so if they go off, you got some backup, because that's concerning. That's a little concerning to me. I'm a little worried about you, Jada. And I'm like, dang, and you don't even have a picture up. So I feel like if you're being stalked, you need to let the authorities know. If you can't even have your picture up here, and they feel like, oh well, if you have your picture up here, then that means you're trying to get them in. Nah, nah. That's not a stable person. That's not somebody, and you're saying that that's not your person. So go ahead and get the authorities involved and keep yourself safe. Okay, get a restraining order if you need to. I don't care what you need to do. You need to be safe. And if this is a person who is not all the way in contact with reality, you really need to be safe, especially if you're going to reject them. You know what I mean? Anybody got any questions, comments, thoughts, complaints, anything? I think that's about it. Thank you, Jada. That was a fascinating question. I was like, dang, I'm worried about you a little bit, but hopefully, you can be able to extricate yourself from this situation and not be in any danger. But I'm a little concerned about that. People just making up stuff. Oh, we're together. No, wait a minute. And not only we're together, but you're cheating on me. That could be. There was another Reddit story where the guy was married, but he just was starting to get delusional, and he just believed that his his wife was cheating on him. He just believed it. He just believed that with all his heart and had absolutely no evidence because he was delusional, but believed it fully and completely. Made her scared. Hey, she ended up getting committed. So gotta watch out for that. Let's not get ourselves wound up with people who are dangerous. If they are really serious about you having cheated on them and you're not in a relationship with them, you need to get away from them. All right, you gotta do it safely with people who are off a little bit. You gotta make sure there's other people around. You gotta make sure there's video cameras rolling because they can do anything. And Lord knows I don't want anything bad happening to you. Okay. All right, y'all. That's about it, I think. Let me see. I'll tell you a little bit about your affirmations. Affirmations are anything you tell yourself, okay? Anything you say repeatedly to yourself, whether it be bad or good, is an affirmation. You are affirming that thing to yourself. If you are affirming terrible things, you're going to feel pretty terrible, okay? So I'm going to ask you to not affirm the terrible things. I am going to ask you to purposely give yourself affirmations of good things. Okay. Give yourself that on purpose. You need it. All right. Another thing with the trauma, that's what it is. It's another trauma effect. Your body and your brain will tell you that everything is wrong with you. You are the problem here. And I get that. I understand that that seems reasonable when these types of things are going on. But it's not really true. You are not bad. You are not terrible. You're not weak. You're not any of the things that your brain or other people would tell you that you are for loving who you love and trying to forgive. You're not any of that for doing something so monumental. Okay. So you've got to tell yourself the good things so that your brain has heard from you how you feel about you. Your brain can't sit there and fill in the blanks and say, oh, yeah, I am so terrible, and keep on reinforcing that negativity in your brain. It's not good for you. It's not going to help you to heal. So, you got to tell yourself beautiful things about your beautiful self. All right. I love an affirmation. I got this deck of cards from Five Below, but you can get them off of Amazon, get them off Etsy. All sorts of affirmation cards. Just take a look. Yeah, all different types of designs, all different themes. You feel free to pick whatever makes you feel good. All right. But I start my day off coming up with affirmations. For whatever it is that I'm going for that day, I come up with affirmations first thing in the morning, start saying them to myself in the mirror, looking myself in the eye in the camera, saying them to myself, hearing myself saying them, getting that picture in my brain that I said this, I meant it, this is what I intend. And then my brain can go back and replay those things all throughout the day. And that's what my brain will go to instead of believing the horrible thoughts about myself that everybody has. It will believe whatever positive thing that the affirmation said. All right. So I want you to be doing this. Do this every day consistently. Wake up first thing in the morning or get ready to go to bed and let it be the last thing you think about before you go to bed. I don't care which way you do it. Just do it. Okay. Sit down, do your affirmations. Look yourself in the eye. Say it like you mean it with all your heart and take it to heart. All right. So this one says, today I will not give in. Today, I will not allow negative thoughts or feelings to prevent me from achieving happiness. I love that one. Today, I will not give in. Today, I will not allow negative thoughts or feelings to prevent me from achieving happiness. Because guess what? Happiness is an inside job. If you are not happy right now, there is nothing anybody else in the world can do to make you happy. Your happiness is a decision that you make. Just like this healing and forgiving is a decision that you make. Same exact thing. Same thing. Okay. I want you to make the decision that you're going to go forth and be happy. You are going to have the love that you want. You're going to have the super satisfying, happy ending that makes people swoon at the end of the book. You are going to have that. Write it down. Put it in your journal. Make it detailed so you can picture it, like you can reach out and touch it, and it will happen for you if that is what you are focusing on, not the negative. All right. All right, y'all. I think that's it. I think that's all we got for today. Thank you so much for joining me for the Healing Hour Live. I really appreciate all of you being here. I appreciate all of you being so loving and understanding and open. All right. I love you so much. I'm so, so proud of you. And I will see you again next week, 8 p.m., 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the Healing Hour Live. And starting September 9th, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, we are doing the Tricky Triggers Challenge. So go sign up for that. You'll want to get in on the challenge and the prizes. All right. And even though the best prize is going to be overcoming the triggers, but I give prizes too. All right, y'all. Thank you so much for joining me. Bye over there on Instagram. And bye over here on Facebook and YouTube. Bye. Okay, maybe not.